we're back. It's been very uneventful. Eid was very uneventful. I fear these videos will just be me speaking about books because I'm going to speak about another one. I got this 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and I think it might be one of the best fiction books I've read. Bear in mind, I bought it yesterday and I'm up to there. Now for me, I know people finish this in a day, fine. For me, that means I'm interested. What I don't understand about the world right now is how we choose to side with people whose intentions and aspirations directly go against everyone else's and go against everyone else's wishes. It's gone past Stockholm Syndrome because we're now not only being empathetic towards the people that have held us captive, we're now starting to adopt their views as well. In effect, we are sort of imprisoning ourselves within that own world. We see it with the current iteration of the Labour government. It's cutting payments to disabled people based on the fact that people are not claiming them for the right reasons, instead of actually reforming the system so that scroungers and defrauders are caught and the people that need the payments get the payments. So it's almost as if like the government has said, oh well, some of you spoiled it, so no one's getting anything. It's a bit childish. It's a school mentality. We're adults. You can just do your job. Are we trying to go down the same route as America? This whole government efficiency, cutting the government. Since when has that ever worked? Austerity, we know, doesn't work. So cutting government services doesn't work. By cutting government services, you're essentially reducing the state. That doesn't work. It's been proven not to work. It's been proven in this country and in other countries. Why are we still going down this road of austerity? I don't get it. Keir Starmer, let's talk about him, because he's interesting to me. He stood on 2 tickets. He stood on Jeremy Corbyn's 2017. Well, technically he stood on Ed Miliband's, but we'll disregard that because that was probably the last normal general election year. But anyway, he stood on 2. 2017, 2019. 2017 stood Jeremy Corbyn. They had the largest percentage share of the vote, I think, since World War II, so since Clement Attlee. And in 2019, where again Keir Starmer stood with Jeremy Corbyn. I think he was Brexit Secretary. The shadow, obviously. And they lost badly. And then obviously Jeremy Corbyn stood down. Keir Starmer then came into the Labour leadership race, essentially mirroring what Jeremy Corbyn promised in the manifesto for the 2019 election. He then went and just lied. What he proved is that the Labour membership want a left-wing Labour because they voted him in on a left-wing consensus. He then went and turned it into... I think this is more than Blairite. I think we're basically living in 2010 again, 2011, where it's just austerity and we're living in weird times. Some people have speculated that he's doing the Blue Labour movement. Maybe. I don't even think he knows what that means. Ed Miliband obviously spearheaded that, and he's in government. So, to be fair, could have some truth in there. I don't get what this Labour government's trying to do. Don't get it. We know what to do. Wealth tax. Screaming in your face is kind of blatant. And all the arguments against that are stupid. They might leave, okay, and if they leave they'll sell their assets. Great, that's what we're fighting for. But they're not going to do that, they're just going to leave and then feed off of our economy anyway. So them physically not being in the country doesn't matter to me, because they're still going to be profiting off of British assets. So what does that mean? It's a win-win. If they leave and they sell all their assets, great. That means that the assets are now cheaper, and that means people that were down in the socio-economic scale can buy them. If they leave and they don't sell their assets, well, we can still tax the profits they make off their assets in the UK. Them leaving doesn't matter. We're not talking about taxing income. There's a difference. I think some people that earn 80, 90k a year are aligning themselves with you're not rich. Sorry, not to sink your boat, but you're not rich. In this economy, you're actually quite poor. You own nothing. You own zero. We are all poor. We're in the same boat. What we're talking about is taxing wealth. What do you own? Because someone who earns 90k a year, you don't even own your house, even with a mortgage. Tomorrow the bank could take it. So what do you own? And then there's your answer. So you're not rich. You're just high earner. And we're not talking about taxing earnings. So you're safe, don't worry. The arguments against wealth tax are all futile, and we've heard it a million times and we know all the answers, but it's just say you don't want to get taxed. It's fine. And we'll tell you that you might have to be. Sorry, society needs to be helped. I sound condescending in my tone, but I think it's because I've just seen so many arguments against it, and I replay, and I'm like, these are the same arguments. Like, we know, and know. It's just like it's either you're choosing to not understand, or you just don't understand. You get people. There was that discussion with that Dan guy and Gary Stevenson on Diary CEO. Yeah, what was it? They had a discussion, and the Dan guy was like, but surely we should encourage younger people to be more entrepreneurial. And I'm sat there like, okay, yes, but if everyone's an entrepreneur, then when you get ill, where do you go? To an entrepreneur? Go to a doctor. You need to build a house, and you need a contractor, and you need an architect. Where do you go? Do you go to an entrepreneur? Go to an engineer? You as an entrepreneur employ people who are not entrepreneurs. If everyone was an entrepreneur, you would not have a business. So cut the fat, get to your point. You don't want to get taxed, it's fine. Unfortunately, if you live in a country that has very high wealth inequality, you're probably going to have to pay your fair share. And this is wealth over 10 million, I believe they're advocating for, at 2%. That means if you earn £12 million, if you earn £12 million from your assets, that's 40k. 40k from 12 million. That's like a penny dropping from your pocket. So, I mean, that's probably not going to be enough to fill the whatever we need, but it's a start. It's a start. This whole obsession with reduce government, we have for 14, 15 years now, and it doesn't work. It categorically doesn't work. Why are we now trying to convince ourselves that less government intervention is correct? There's a whole other conversation saying that government is corrupt and the people who lead us are corrupt. That's fine. That's a whole separate conversation. I'm ready to have that. But government is never self-serving. It's always for the people, right? That's the whole point of government, is to help people. Why should that be reduced? That's what I don't understand. If the people who are in government are corrupt, why should the government be reduced? Why are the people not being taken out? That's what's not complicated. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling now. Because I think I'm going to get shot. I feel like a sniper, but it's just there, ready to shoot me through. Yeah, today was more depressing. I'm very sorry, but I'm gonna enjoy reading this. Anyway, very sobering one today. Sorry. See ya.